U.S. made a conscious choice to also communicate to Europe that, guess what? Our political aims are more important than you, and our alliance, which is NATO, which we're supposed to all stick together. In this case, it's not. And we want to let you know we're willing to do these things. So they let Putin know and Germany know.
You just said it in two sentences. That's exactly, that's what the thinking of the people involved. And that's probably why I was learning as much as I did, because there was a sense that the president had sort of misused a very significant element. And there, look, I've been talking to people that came out. I did a story about a My Lai massacre. It was 18 months afterwards. Nobody wanted to publish it. Nobody believed the story. There were polls done when I published the first story in some not left-wing, just a magazine, a newspaper that had American correspondents who knew Vietnamese, called Dispatch, but nobody was paying much attention to it. I couldn't get a major, even though I had been around. Anyway, I can't tell how hard it was to not only have interviewed the guy, Kelly, that they charge and have a copy of the charge sheet, and still not get a major paper to prove it. It's not like, in this case, I don't have a document. And so I get so many people that ask me, well, how can you prove it? And I said, I had the same thing after My Lai. I didn't have a video of it. I don't have a video of these guys under the water digging around, but that's a crazy standard, because I eventually went to work for the New York Times. I got the first real writing job I got after doing My Lai was at the New Yorker, the best magazine in the goddamn world at the time. I went and saw the editor, William Shawn. Everybody said, he won't even talk to you. Within 5 minutes, he hired me. And I did stuff for him for a couple of years. And then the editor of the New York Times, Abe Rosenthal, was very conservative, but damn it, he liked stories. And he hired me and he let me go. He said, just go. And I wrote stuff. I wrote about the CIA spying on American students. I wrote about the CIA going after Allende. I wrote some NSA stuff that I don't have to brag about, because in principle, I like the idea of having intelligence collection. I didn't like them turning on us. That's what they did at one point. The CIA began to spy on American citizens. Yeah. And they're too good to do that. They got stopped, and that led to the famous hearings, the Church Committee, that first time the Senate tried to do something. And by the way, it's no shock to me that the Democratic Senate, led by Chuck Schumer, I haven't heard a word from anybody. There hasn't been a word said in Congress about this.
My name is Jim Rickards. I'm a former advisor to the CIA, Department of Defense, and the White House. In a moment, you'll have my own evidence that very few people have seen. You'll see how I believe 2 acts of democratic stupidity are about to combine into a storm that will change America forever: the American energy Armageddon. In fact, due to specific circumstances created by the Armageddon, it's possible you could now win big while others lose. You see, there's a universal truth. In times of crisis, money moves. During the coming energy Armageddon, most Americans will face new hardships, but not all. A few will win, and win big. You're about to see how the energy Armageddon could create a one-time opportunity to secure new substantial wealth. If you want in, keep watching. Right now, today, America is running out of gas, diesel, and oil. Our national fuel reserves are down 50% or more from where they should be. It's so urgent, major suppliers are calling it a code red emergency. We don't have the refining capacity to catch up, and we're shipping most of what we have to Europe to bail them out of Calamity Joe's Nordstream crisis. We're now facing catastrophic fuel shortages I predict will collapse our nation's energy grid. When it happens, every citizen will see firsthand the Dems' obsession with green energy is a scam. In fact, I'm going to show you my evidence that outs them as shameless hypocrites. That's not all. I predict this storm will bring about a new social order to our country. Many who are now rich will find their accounts drained, and those who are poor will turn to desperate measures to survive. I'm talking about civil unrest, a massive crime wave, and violence in our streets. Most will suffer under Biden's energy Armageddon, but not everyone. Some good Americans will win. They'll take advantage of wealth-building opportunities created by the upheaval, which I'll reveal here today, to vastly improve their personal economic situation. And that's the most important thing I want to share with you. Now, if the idea of winning while others suffer makes you uncomfortable, no problem. Then this presentation is not for you. But the way I see it, our great nation was built during times of crisis when a few smart people recognized opportunity and seized it. If you see the storm coming, if you know Calamity Joe and his ilk are steering us straight into it, and you want to not just survive, but thrive by using the crisis potentially to grow your personal wealth, then you're exactly who I want to reach today. Give me about 3 minutes of your time. I'm going to show you everything right now.
The greedy bankers are about to do it again. In 2008, they crashed our financial system and nearly bankrupted the entire global economy. Then they received trillions of dollars in government bailouts. And after, they demanded fat bonuses paid for by you, the taxpayer.
It turns out the banks haven't just been screwing the American taxpayers, they're also screwing over their investors. Turns out the banking industry is the worst place you could put your money, despite enormous taxpayer bailouts.
Now the bankers are back to take away your financial freedom. They lie and tell you that cryptocurrency isn't safe. They try to make it illegal for you to choose how to invest your hard-earned money. They lie and say cryptocurrency is used by money launderers and criminals. But look at the record. It's the banks themselves that launder hundreds of billions of dollars every year to the biggest criminal operations in the world.
Leaked documents have revealed how some UK banks have helped criminals, money launderers and Russians under sanctions.
American authorities discovered that the Sinaloa cartel moved $881 million through HSBC accounts as bank officials turned a blind eye to the illegality.
The bankers lie and say cryptocurrency is not a real investment. Meanwhile, the smartest CEOs in the world are buying billions and billions of it. The truth is that banks lie about cryptocurrency because it makes them scared. The banks take $9 trillion per year of your hard-earned money, and they are worried that they will finally be exposed. They're scared because crypto means they can no longer control your money, which means they can no longer control you. They are scared because you might actually understand your money and intelligently decide what to do with it. Now is the time for us to come together, fight back, and take control. It's time to educate ourselves, our families, and our communities. Because financial education means financial freedom. We know that cryptocurrencies will help us build the new decentralized financial system of the future. A banking system that is of the people, by the people, and for the people. A banking system where access to finance is a fundamental human right. A banking system that is free and fair and welcomes all humans on this earth. The DeFi revolution is happening. We, the people, can no longer be fooled. We choose to take control of our finances. We choose to take control of our freedom. We choose to take control of our future. Join us, and let's take back our financial freedom forever.